They call you emotionally unavailable like it's a disease. A character flaw that needs immediate correction. But what if I told you that accusation reveals everything about them, and nothing about you? When someone demands your emotional availability, they're really demanding control. They want access to your inner world so they can manipulate it. But here's what they don't understand. There's a crucial difference between emotional unavailability and emotional invulnerability. The unavailable person runs from emotions. The invulnerable person has mastered them. When you refuse to be their emotional puppet, they panic. Your detachment becomes a mirror that reflects their desperation. And that's when they weaponize shame. But the truth is, being called emotionally unavailable is the highest compliment. It means you've built something they cannot breach. If you're finding value in this, hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Niccolo Machiavelli witnessed something horrifying in the Renaissance courts. Princes who showed their true feelings were destroyed within months. Those who mastered the Iron Mask ruled for decades. This wasn't cruelty, this was survival architecture. Machiavelli discovered the ultimate truth about power dynamics. Your enemies study your emotional reactions like battle plans. Every smile reveals a weakness. Every frown telegraphs your strategy. The prince teaches us to compartmentalize ruthlessly. Your private feelings belong in a vault that only you control. Your public face becomes a weapon of misdirection. Renaissance courts were psychological battlefields disguised as parties. One emotional outburst could cost you everything you'd built. But emotional unavailability gave you an impenetrable advantage. This is how you become impossible to read and impossible to defeat. Now here's where things get interesting. When you become emotionally unavailable, something powerful happens to the people around you. Their weapons suddenly become useless. The guilt trips that once moved mountains, they bounce off you like arrows off armor. The charm offensives that once melted your defenses, they hit a wall of ice. The emotional blackmail that once held you hostage, it finds no purchase on your fortified mind. And this is when they start to panic. Because for the first time in their lives, their manipulation tactics are failing. They double down. They escalate. They become desperate. But here's the beautiful irony. The more they try, the more obvious their game becomes. Your emotional unavailability isn't just protection. It's a revelation machine that exposes everyone's true intentions. When people can't manipulate you, they show you exactly who they are. Building on Machiavelli's immunity to manipulation, there's something even more powerful at play. Distance doesn't just protect you from others. It transforms you into something they can't resist pursuing. When you become emotionally scarce, something extraordinary happens to human psychology. People begin to assign greater value to what they cannot easily obtain. Your emotional unavailability becomes a magnet that draws others deeper into your orbit. They invest more effort trying to reach what seems unreachable. This isn't cruelty, it's simply the natural consequence of emotional self-sufficiency. When you don't need their validation, they desperately want to give it to you. The power dynamic completely reverses. Instead of chasing their approval, they begin competing for yours. Your silence becomes more compelling than any words you could speak. Every conversation they don't have with you increases their desire for the next one. This is the ultimate strategic advantage that emotional distance provides. But distance alone isn't enough. You need to build something even stronger within yourself. Building on what we covered, Distance alone isn't enough. You need architecture. The fortress within isn't built from stone and mortar. It's constructed from conscious choice. First technique. The emotional firewall. Not every feeling deserves your immediate response. When someone triggers you, pause. Ask, is this emotion serving my interests, or theirs? Second, compartmentalization. Your heart has rooms. Not everyone gets access to all of them. Your colleagues get professionalism. Your friends get warmth. Your core gets silence. Third technique. Strategic vulnerability. Share calculated weaknesses to hide real ones. Admit to being overly generous. Never admit to being calculating. Fourth, the investment principle. Your emotional energy is currency. Spend it wisely. High-return relationships get maximum investment. Energy vampires get minimum viable interaction. But here's the paradox. The stronger your fortress, the more genuine your openness becomes. When you can't be manipulated, you can actually afford to care. The fortress within isn't about becoming cold, it's about choosing when to be warm. Your emotions become tools, not tyrants. Your heart becomes strategic, not silent. Here's the paradox that breaks most people's minds. True emotional unavailability isn't about being cold forever. It's about becoming so emotionally independent that you choose when to open the vault. Machiavelli understood this. His unavailability wasn't weakness masquerading as strength. It was strength so complete that he could afford to be vulnerable on his terms. This is the sovereign self. The person who owns their emotional real estate completely. You're not defending against emotional manipulation because you're afraid of it. You're immune to it because you've built something they can't touch. The fortress within isn't meant to keep you isolated forever. It's meant to give you the power to choose who gets past the gates. When you master this, something incredible happens. Your warmth becomes a gift instead of a weakness. Your vulnerability becomes strategic instead of accidental. You become unavailable to manipulation, but available to genuine connection. This is the art Machiavelli truly mastered. The sovereignty of the self. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button and subscribe for more.